In 2022, the parish, was consulted on alternative schemes to build a hall, offices, and possibly a presbytery on the St. John's site. We had a survey and 2 parish meetings, and there was general agreement, even though it was clear it would mean taking on debt. Planning permission for a revised scheme without a presbytery was granted in May this year, and a competitive tender identified a preferred contractor. Following approval from the diocese, works will start early in the new year. It will take 44 weeks to complete, so it's happening. Incidentally, alternatives to a new build were suggested, in particular buying Sage Cross Methodist Church, but none of these were suitable. While all this was going on, we were raising funds. In the past year, we have raised just over £80,000 in grants. We have another 3 grant applications ready to go when the contract is signed, and we have more planned. I can't really predict how much money that will bring in, but we do have a track record now, so it wouldn't be out of the question for the low 6 figures, possibly. The Friends of St. John, led tirelessly by Francis Levette, by the end of this year will have contributed £23,000. So in total, we have about £560,000 in hand as of this date. The cost, which was updated on Friday by the architect, so we can rely on these numbers now, including contingency, the cost of the kitchen, his fees, and some setup costs, will be £794,000. So that leaves a shortfall of £234,000, which, incidentally, I checked, and this is almost exactly the shortfall we expected back in 2022. So costs have gone up, but we've been raising funds to keep pace. We can borrow the shortfall from the diocese, but we should make every effort to minimize that amount. And together we can and will. With all this talk of process and bricks and mortar and planning permission, I think it's important to remind ourselves what the hall actually represents and what it's for. What it allows us to be, both as a parish and as individuals on a faith journey. There are 2 main strands to this, the internal and the external. The internal strand is focused on us as a community of faith. Outside of Mass, when do we come together as a community? And without that, how can we know and care for each other? I ask you to think especially of parishioners, present or future, who are struggling with loss or loneliness or other troubles, who would be consoled by Christian fellowship. How do we further develop our faith, and how do we spread that faith? Whether it is formation of faith, socializing together, or sharing with our neighbors, we are currently constrained. Incidentally, the hall will also, finally, make the church fully accessible for the disabled, which is overdue and a great thing. The external strand is the expression of our faith by good works. In researching grant applications, we have been shocked by the extent of the need that exists on our very doorstep. The other churches and charities in this town offer a lot of assistance, but the fact is they're often hampered by lack of suitable space. Take, for example, the Melton Fridge, which distributes food that would otherwise go to waste. Their current base is up a narrow staircase. They're on the offices on the first floor. They have already said that if they used our hall, they could reach significantly more people. I think the number they put on it was around 25% more. The Storehouse Food Bank said they could open more days a week. And we also intend to restart the free lunches that ended when the Sage Cross closed. These were a lifeline for people marginalized by poverty and isolation. And we already have enthusiastic support for these from other organizations. Like for example, the Rotary have expressed interest in funding. It was only a few weeks ago that we heard at Mass from the Epistle of St. James, when he compared a faith without works to a body without breath. The hall will give us the opportunity to put our faith in action and also help us with our duty of evangelization by demonstrating Christian love. So, what will you do? What sacrifice will you make? Obviously, we need money, be it through donation, bequests, or supporting our fundraising activities. Please reflect on your giving and consider if you can do more. Father Tom reminded us last year that an hour's wage is a useful standard for your regular giving. If you can stretch to more, that would be great. But it's hard times. If you can't contribute money, you can contribute your time. In the past year, literally a handful of people have raised over £100,000 for the hall. Think how much more could be done with more help. Whatever your skills or the amount of time you have available, you can help. Sign up to be kept informed. If you can't do either of those things, maybe you know someone who can, so you can at least spread the word. Tell people what we're doing and also that we need their help. We're not sectarian. They don't have to be Catholics. Follow us on social media and help us spread the word that way. Finally, you can support us with your prayers. We all know and understand the power of prayer. Please use it to help us achieve this great goal. Let us accomplish it together in faith. Now, I'd like to invite Kristen Doherty to come up and address you. Kristen's helping us. She's from the diocese. And as I got it wrong last night, I'll allow her to introduce herself. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. It's a real blessing to be here with you this morning. As you can tell by my accent, you can see that I'm not local. I'm from Mansfield. No, I'm originally from Philadelphia, raised in an American Irish Catholic household, and I've been over in the country for 10 years, and I've worked in finance during that time for places, professional football teams, the Albert Hall, and places that sound very impressive when they're on paper, but have found it a very empty task. And so I started looking for work that fed my soul as much as it fed my family, and this is why I found the role at the diocese as their fundraising manager, development fundraising manager. When I first walked through the door, the CEO brought this project at St. John's to me as the first project that was on the docket. It reflects on how the diocese feels about this project. Not only is there, from the people of Melton Mowbray, there's a need, but the diocese sees it as well in their research that this area needs some sort of place for people that are in need. And it will enrich the parish, and they see that, and that's why they're so supportive of it. And that's why they've sent me here. My role is to help with grants and be able to assist Francis and Art in their incredible work they've done so far. I'm not sure if you've known how much money they have raised in the rumbling underground of the enthusiasm that they've had for this project. So I've come today to plead with you, is to search your hearts and open it and have some ownership of what this building could mean for not only the parish, but the people of Melton Mowbray. We see this as an opportunity to not only grow the church, but to see it reflect in the town how Jesus moves us to be able to be a part of that community and reach out. So as we are getting close to the groundbreaking, my plea is not only about the idea of increasing donations to think about what you make an hour, but to also be about your time. I'm asking for your time. As we have the Melton Mowbray Christmas Tree Festival, which I recently found out about, we have an event that is reflected here, a Christmas Wreath Festival, that we are looking at to be a flagship event for this church that can grow and be part of what brings in money to be able to support that. Because once that building's built, we need bodies in there to help. So get in on the ground floor now. So we ask that when it comes time for the festival, we're requesting that it's on the 7th and 8th of December, come for an hour. Come for an hour, help give out mince pies, talk to the people that come and visit, talk about the work that's being done here, let them know what's going to be built over here. So when they see the reflection of the construction work as it goes on, they go, oh, I remember talking to that woman. This is going to be a real benefit to the community. So on those 2 days, we're asking for that. And continue to be supportive of the events that we're going to be putting on. Little bit by little bit, we have been able to really dig into that number. And the less that we have to pay back to the diocese, which is, I'm telling you, their support of this is astronomical, honestly. So they're happy to do so, but we have to do our bit too. And that's what my job is here to do. I go out to parishes and help them with projects like this. So I'll be around for the Christmas Wreath Festival. I hope to see you there. And I hope that we can grow this parish and Melton Mowbray be a real test to what we can do here in the East and the Midlands. Thank you so much for your time.